जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, entitled Vidura's Talks with Maitreya, verse number 21. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Samatah Sanugasyaha Yasya Gyanopadeshaya Madishad Bhagavan Vrajan. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammatah Sanugasyaha Yasya Gyanopadeshaya Madishad Bhagavan Vrajan. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Samatah Sanugasyaha Yasya Gyanopadeshaya Madishad Bhagavan Vrajam.
Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam
Matajis. Word to word meaning. Bhavan, your good self. Bhagavatah, of the personality of Godhead. Nityam, eternal. Samatah, recognized. Sanugasya, one of the associates. Ha, have been. Yasya, of whom. Jnana, knowledge. Upadeshaya, for instructing. Ma, unto me. Adishat, so ordered. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Vrajan, while returning to his abode. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Your good self is one of the eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for whose sake the Lord, while going back to his abode, left instructions with me. Purport: Yamraj, the great controller of life after death, decides the living entity's destinies in their next lives. He is surely among the most confidential representatives of the Lord. Such confidential posts are offered to great devotees of the Lord who are as good as his eternal associates in the spiritual sky. And because Vidura happened to be among them, the Lord, while returning to Vaikuntha, left instructions for Vidura with Maitreya Muni. Generally, the eternal associates of the Lord in the spiritual sky do not come to the material world. Sometimes they come, however, by the order of the Lord, not to hold any administrative post, but to associate with the Lord in person or to propagate the message of God in human society. Such empowered representatives are called Shaktiavesh Avataras, or incarnations invested with transcendental power of attorney. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namaom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptan sanjivayata kila shakti dhara swadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravana tvagadim prananamo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrute yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrute vipritam syat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Hare Krishna. Welcome all devotees to our Sunday festival. Also, we welcome all devotees who come online to hear the class, because Sunday festival is a little different now because of the renovation. Timings have changed, prasadam menu has changed. But all of you are have taken shelter of the process of hearing and chanting. That's very, very heartening. So welcome to the class, and thank you for giving me a chance to share with you something from this verse and purport. So this is third canto, 5th chapter. So what is happening, I'll just briefly give you a background of what's happening, and then we will dive into the context, the present context. So third canto begins with Parikshit Maharaj. His inquiry about this momentous meeting of Vidura and Maitreya. He wants to know, wow, what a big meeting had happened. Tell me more about it. So Parikshit Maharaj initially starts glorifying Vidura's inquiries as highly purposeful, and it is approved by all the learned transcendentalists. And later you will see Vidura also repeatedly acknowledges the same about Maitreya Muni and his answers. So this is a very, very striking conversation that you are going to hear now. And this has begun now in the 3rd canto, and which is the 5th chapter. This is where Maitreya Vidura's conversation has begun. And this will go on till the end of 4th canto. So the beauty of this 3rd canto, which we are reading now, is it lies in the variegated range of topics that this canto covers. And they are very, very awe-inspiring characters are described in this canto. And what are the topics that you will read? Creation, subcreation, time, embryology, family life, Sankhya, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma, culture, spiritual world, material world, hell, all these topics. And these topics are interwoven with beautiful stories and prayers and conversations of very illustrious personalities like Vidura, Uddhava, Maitreya, Brahma, Kumaras, Jai Vijay, Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti, Kardam Muni, and of course we'll read the most exhilarating pastimes of Varahadev, which will also come now after some chapters. So, but what we are doing now is the beginning of 3rd canto. This is the 5th chapter. So what has happened in the beginning? The 1st chapter, we saw Vidura is very detached, very mature, and he has begun a pilgrimage to journey to holy places. And that journey he meets Uddhava. That is the 1st chapter. And from the 2nd to 4th chapter, we find how Uddhava has deep spiritual emotions. For whom? For his beloved Lord Krishna. And he starts having this wonderful recollection of Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities. 2nd to 4th chapter. And this gives us a glimpse of the pure devotion and sweetness that we will get in 10th canto. So we get a sample of that now. And we also see in the last 4, 5, this is the 5th chapter, what we have seen is Vidura's amazing humility. See, he is actually very senior, but he accepts Uddhava, who is much, much younger to him, as his spiritual preceptor. And he wants to hear from him. And Uddhava is also very sensitive. He follows etiquette pakka. And it is laudable that he doesn't accept the respectable elder Vidura as his disciple, rather he directs him to Maitreya Rishi. And that's how we have come here in the 5th chapter, where we are reading Vidura's enquiries to Maitreya Rishi. And now what we are reading in the last 2 verses, yesterday, today, is Vidura before answering the questions of, Maitreya, before answering the questions of Vidura, is glorifying. Oh Vidura, you are son of Vyasadev, you are incarnation of Yamaraj, like that. They have a beautiful exchange. And now he is going to answer. For this is the background. This is where we have come to. So what we will do today, we will follow Maitreya Rishi's mood, which is in this context of appreciating Vidura. And let us spend some time to see how we can learn some very important lessons in our life from Vidura's example. Now, there are many things you could learn from Vidura, but I would like to focus on one quality which is shining forth. And I would like to spend some time on that, which is Vidura's ability to harmonize 2 contradictory emotions. He is going through deep pain. The initial chapters reveal. What is the deep pain he is going through? Anybody knows? Sorry? That is spiritual. I'm talking about some pain at the emotional level he has gone through. Yes. Yes, he was banished from the kingdom. And at the same time, he is also feeling spiritually very nourished and happy. Why? Because he is seeing Krishna's hand in his life. Are you seeing these 2 things? So the deep pain was Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra's apathy, insults. Saitamatyul banakarna baner Brato puro marmasutaditopi Swayam danurdhari nidhaya mayam Gatavyato yad uru manayana. So, this is very, very powerful shloka. Karna Banir, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra's behavior, Duryodhana's words especially, was arrows shot at his ear. Karna Baner. And Bhratu, his own brother, Dhritarashtra, is apathetic. Marmasu Topi deeply wounded his heart. Marmasu Topi. And he is a Kshatriya, Vidura. Swayam Dhanurdhari Nidhaya Mayam. He had to give up his bow. See, Kshatriya, he had to leave everything and go. But Sutta Goswami is saying he gave up, Shukdev Goswami is saying he gave up his bow. For a Kshatriya to give up his bow is a big thing. We don't realize that because we are attached to our smartphone. So if somebody says you have to give up your smartphone, we'll get so nervous. But during those days, for a Kshatriya, his identity was his bow and he is giving it up. Swayam Dhanurdhari Nidhaya Mayam. So Marmasu Tadito, deep pain, but at the same time, Gatavyato Yaduru Manayana. He understood Krishna's illusory potencies working on Duryodhan, and Krishna has orchestrated this so that I can take shelter of Krishna. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that Vidura realized that by the grace of Duryodhan, he is getting a chance to go to holy places, so he did not carry any grudges against Duryodhan, although he was hurt by him. This is very, very powerful. So what we are seeing is ambivalence. You know, ambivalence means two emotions existing simultaneously. There is pain also, and there is hope also. And the words specifically used here are Tadita Marmasu. Means deeply wounded, his heart was, bahut tadan ho gaya. At the translation, at the core of his heart, it pierced. That means you can imagine, he was deeply, deeply afflicted. But what is happening although he is affected, he is also seeing what? Krishna's hand. Are you getting this? Generally, we don't accept this, but two emotions simultaneously exist. Generally, we focus on how a devotee should see Krishna's hand. We ignore this Marmasu Tadito part. We either deny the pain which material world gives us, or we ignore it. But it is a reality. And Vidura was also affected. And many times we are scared to face painful emotions. We want to only hear how Krishna conscious is blissful, it is amazing, fantastic. And pure devotees, they don't feel any sadness or pain. Have you heard this? Pure devotees are always happy. We don't want to hear the human side of pure devotees, or we don't want to hear human frailties. No, we don't want. We want hope. Prabhuji, give me faith. You know, when we go for classes, when we hear, we think if preachers tell me how there is happiness in bhakti, how there is no suffering in Krishna consciousness, then I will get faith. Our faith is dependent on hearing how Krishna consciousness is the answer to all problems, and there is only happiness. And even preachers fall for the bait. They also want to increase the number of devotees, so they also keep saying, just come to Hare Krishna, you'll always be happy. I remember one conversation where Srila Prabhupada says to his disciples, so if I tell you the gallons of blood that you have to shed to get Krishna's love, you will get so scared that you will run away. We don't want to go there. We don't want to hear this, that there is a lot of pain and suffering also. But sometimes, like for example in today's class, because this is the context, we can face this reality of practicing Krishna consciousness in this material world, which gives us, we get what we are due to get. And there is suffering also, and there is happiness also. This is called authentic bhakti, being very honest. Both realities exist. I have a very dear friend of mine. Whenever I ask him, how are you, Prabhu? He's been practicing bhakti for more than 40 years now. When I ask him, how are you? He says, Prabhu, I'm miserable. I'm suffering. But I'm very grateful and happy. You see? Whenever I hear him say this, I immediately understand, oh, this is vulnerability at its best. Vulnerability at the sadhaka level is very much important. To acknowledge that I am suffering, I am not really happy, but I am also happy because Krishna is there with me. So we can have both emotions. I have fears. For a devotee to say, I have my fears, insecurities, doubts, but I am also happy. I belong to Krishna. But if we pretend I have no fears, no insecurity, and we avoid being vulnerable, then we are then we are inviting lot of complications at the mental, psychological level. And that so-called positivity becomes very toxic, very poisonous as you get older. So, we devotees like to say that, I'm very happy, it's like during COVID, did you wear mask? Why? You feel safe, right? So COVID, that mask makes you feel safe. But if you wear the mask all the time, what will happen? You feel suffocated also. Don't you feel? Similarly, we put on the pretense of, I'm very strong devotee, very positive, I'm positive. There may be suffering, but I'm positive, I'm great, I'm doing good, Krishna consciousness is best. We deny our insecurities, we don't face it, we don't accept it, then it's like putting a mask, COVID mask. We feel safe. When we put a mask, we feel safe. When we say, I'm doing fine, how are you, Prabhu? I'm great. How are you doing? Great. Hari bol, we are all happy. That is a mask. And that mask makes us feel very safe. But what happens when we put mask all the time? Suffocating. Like if you go to this Prince of Wales museum here, there is armor of Shivaji Maharaj. He's putting on this armor. And he used to fight. And to lift it, 5 people are needed. So you can imagine how strong he was. He used to wear it and fight. So imagine you're putting an armor. How do you feel when you put an armor? You feel strong. Oh, man. You feel suddenly, even if you're not strong, you feel strong because you have an armor. We also put armor. Bhakti Yoga is best. Krishna consciousness is the greatest. It is true. Krishna consciousness is the best. We are not denying that. I'm just saying, when we deny, when we avoid facing our insecurities, our dark side, or not accepting our challenges, when we deny it, we are putting an armor. So what happens? When you're putting an armor, you feel very strong. But if you put the armor whole day, what will happen? You will feel exhausted. Because it is not natural. Similarly, when we put on a strong presence all the time, we have to be strong. I'm not denying that. We have to be positive. But if you're only putting an armor all the time, what will happen? You will feel exhausted. Right? So therefore, this is the paradox. You feel safe when you have a mask, but you feel suffocated. You feel strong when you have an armor, but you also feel exhausted. Therefore, it is not sustainable. We need to practice bhakti authentically, honestly. And this honesty was Srila Prabhupada's hallmark. There is this pastime in the last, May 1977, Srila Prabhupada was very sick. Devotees thought he's leaving his body. He was in Rishikesh. They rushed him to Vrindavan and the news spread that Prabhupada may leave his body. So in Vrindavan temple, devotees were very sad, apprehensive. They were crying, thinking that Prabhupada is coming here to leave his body. But when they came to temple, Prabhupada came to the temple hall and he gave a class and all the devotees were sitting and Prabhupada said, so, what is there to be scared of death? Death has to come. And devotees started crying, thinking that Prabhupada is saying he is going to leave the body. Prabhupada said, body has to die, but we have the books, we have Bhagavatam, we have to take shelter of Krishna. There is nothing to fear. Like that. So devotees were crying, oh, Prabhupada is talking about leaving. So after that very powerful talk, then Prabhupada is going, he's very weak, so his disciples carry him to the room, his house. You have seen Prabhupada's house behind the temple. As soon as he enters the house, he falls into the arms of Tamal Krishna Maharaj and says, Tamal, just encourage me. Please encourage me. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj glorifies Prabhupada's services, how he has touched so many lives, and how his book distribution is happening. And then Prabhupada hears for 5 minutes a nice offering by Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And then Prabhupada says, thank you so much. So this is the human side. When his son went mad and he was lost, and Prabhupada came to know, he was crying, he was wailing, he felt very pained. So this is also happens. Pain is also there and bliss of Krishna consciousness is also there. There is this pastime, it happens twice, once with Gopinath Prabhu and once with Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Both were servants of Prabhupada, and at different times Prabhupada asked for orange juice from both of them, and both of them got late in getting the orange juice. Prabhupada was fasting. Prabhupada got angry. He said, take away the juice, I don't want it. You are getting so late. I have to wait for 300 years to get I'm not eating anything, I just want little orange juice. He chastised them. But they were intelligent, they didn't take the juice. They kept it there only. Prabhupada after some time quietly drank it. And then when Gopinath Das came to take the glass back, Prabhupada looked at him and called him. He said, please don't feel bad. Huh? I'm an old man, you know, old people get cranky sometimes. So I get tired, hungry, so I scold you, but please don't feel bad. But the devotee started crying. Prabhupada, no, we are happy that you scold us. The point I'm saying is, Prabhupada had this divinity, Superman kind of activities, you know, like unimaginable, superhuman activities. Like in Kumbh Mela, at the age of 81, he's taking bath in cold water to set an example. 81 years old, getting up early for Mangalarati, that's like, and we have heard all these pastimes. We always hear these pastimes and we get inspired. Wow, Prabhupada is so amazing. Like Prabhupada has penthouse in New York, he has a Bhaktivedanta manor in London, such big, big palaces. But in Bhubaneswar, staying in that small hut, he feels completely at home and with Krishna. So Prabhupada had this divinity, spiritual consciousness at super transcendental level. There is no doubt about it. But somehow when we hear the human side, I've seen that Prabhupada becomes more endearing to us and we get strength to go on and live with the conflicting emotions that we go through. Don't we all go through? Am I the only one? You all go through, right? See, that during Prabhupada, when he was in Bhubaneswar, Mother Palika and Shruti Rupa Mataji, they were cooking for Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, what is this? Very non-spicy. Get me, that should be some nice spicy prasad. So they put nice masala and they gave, and Prabhupada added, he enjoyed it. But then he got stomach problem and health problem. And he was old, doctors had said, you should not eat spicy food. So then he said, it is not agreeable with me, I'm falling sick. So both the Matajis, they prepared simple prasad. But there was Kirchor Gopinath, he was cooking for other devotees, very nice Bengan Shukta and all that. So Prabhupada would tell Kirchor Gopinath, oh, thoda mere liye leke aao. And Prabhupada would eat that prasad. So then he went away. And there was another devotee, he was actually, you know, this Marwadi Maharajas, they cook for everyone. So his name was Shantilal. So Shantilal was cooking for all the other devotees. And for Prabhupada, these two ladies were cooking. And this prasad was very bland. So Prabhupada knew, once earlier he had taken this prasadam, spicy prasad, his health had gone bad. So when he was taking this non-spicy prasad, he quietly ate it. And then he called Garga Muni. Oh, what has Shantilal made for all of you? So the Garga Muni told the menu. Prabhupada said, get some of that. Then Prabhupada ate. And then Prabhupada said, this is so nice. Prasad means like this. So then both the ladies came inside. They said, Prabhupada, you are eating this prasad. It is not correct for you. You will fall sick. Prabhupada quietly heard. And the other men were also sitting there. They all quietly heard. And Prabhupada said, yes, you are right. And then the ladies left back to the kitchen. Prabhupada told the men, they will say, you should listen. But please get me Shantilal's prasad. So then, like you are laughing now, all the sannyasis, the men, they were started laughing. And then Prabhupada was eating, and then the ladies understood that they are laughing, matlab, they are doing gadwad. So both the ladies came. And they said, what is this, Prabhupada? See, they were having intense attachment to Prabhupada because they were daughters, spiritual daughters of Srila Prabhupada. So they said, Prabhupada, this is not correct. You know, you are falling sick and we want you to be all right. We want you to be healthy and we are cooking. This is what the doctor has told for you. Should eat only this. They started literally chastising out of love. Prabhupada heard quietly. And after they finished, Prabhupada said, see, the prasad you give me has no taste. And if there is no taste, means there is no life. And if there is no life, that means you are dead. It is better to die than not to have this prasad. Then Prabhupada said, all glories to prasadam, all glories to prasadam. So then the Matajis also started laughing. And then devotees laughed and they went. So now you don't have to give a purport to this. Analysis, okay, what is Prabhupada teaching here? You don't have to give purport to everything. This is sweet human dealings. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada did so many things. Just accept without judgment. Just accept with love. So when we follow Prabhupada's footsteps, that means we have relationships centered on authenticity, honesty. At least someone in life who doesn't judge us. Someone, who will not condemn us for the mistakes we have made. And also the fact that if we can come in front of Krishna with all our mistakes and nonsense, with utter honesty, Then our hearts will be filled with love and forgiveness, which Vidura had. Vidura could come back. What happened to Vidura? You can imagine how much insult he went through. But same Vidura comes back to Dhritarashtra to help him. I mean, his position was taken away. The kind of compassion which Vidura exhibited is not only extraordinary, but it is also a result of someone who has made peace with himself, and he could see Krishna's hand in his life. Okay, many of us admit that I am not there yet. See, Vidura was practicing what is called as, not the bhakti we are practicing. He was practicing existential bhakti, which means for him bhakti was he was bhakti. Matlab, his identity had merged with the process of bhakti. We practice, what kind of bhakti we are practicing? Emotional bhakti. We want to feel good. Why we come to ISKCON temple? I feel happy, Prabhuji. When I come to temple, I feel good. So our bhakti is motivated by a desire to be happy. Many of us, when we were new, we thought if I practice bhakti, I will become happy. Isn't it? So our Krishna consciousness is emotional. It is all about feeling good. Emotional bhakti. But Vidura's is not, even when he was not happy, he was practicing Krishna consciousness. Existential bhakti means it is who I am. Whether I am happy, whether I am miserable, that's immaterial. My heart belongs to Krishna. The gopis didn't want anything from Krishna. Prabhupada says in one lecture, when Krishna came back from the forest of Vrindavan, after herding the cows, gopis were not going and checking Krishna's pockets to see what he has brought for us. Prabhupada says like that. So when gopis went for Ras Leela, when they were crying, when they were wanting to be with Krishna, their whole mood was, Krishna, see, they were not saying because they want to be happy with Krishna. That was not the mood. The mood is, Krishna is everything. Without Krishna, we are nothing. That was existential bhakti. Means, that's who I am. Inseparable. In existential bhakti, there is no happiness the way we understand happiness at the level of mind, intelligence, ego. It is at the low level of the soul. It is ineffable. It cannot be described in words. It is a sense of belonging. It's a sense of shelter. It's a sense of being at home. This is faith beyond feeling. It is a sense of knowing that Krishna is there beyond intellectual knowing. And that is existential bhakti, which Vidura was at. He was at that level. Many of us are at what level? See, there are three levels. One is no bhakti, sense gratification, no Krishna consciousness. What we are focused on? Enjoying senses. Then we come to Krishna consciousness, that is emotional bhakti. What happens there? We have given up sense gratification, but what we do now? Emotional gratification. Oh, he spoke nicely to me. So we are looking for good feelings. We are looking for happy feelings. We are not driven by any deep purpose. We are driven by what makes me feel good, what makes me feel happy. We practice bhakti because they are nice to me. I get nice prasad. I feel good. It's all about, oh, that kirtan was ecstatic, Prabhuji. I get goosebumps. Oh, that darshan was amazing. These are all consolation prizes. This is not the real thing in Krishna consciousness. The real thing is the experience of surrender, completely offering our heart to Krishna. Of course, deity darshan, Krishna katha, those ecstatic feelings are Krishna's gifts. We accept it gratefully. I'm not undermining it. I'm just saying that's not the real thing, because we are at a level of feel-good bhakti. So if we have to reach there, the level where Vidura is, because that is the goal of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam wants us to catapult us to the level of surrender, isn't it? So how do we reach that stage? When do we reach that stage? We need a bridge. From emotional bhakti, where it's all about, oh, that kirtan was so nice, that Prabhuji is so good, I am so loved, oh, he wished me on my birthday. This is, Krishna consciousness is so nice. From that level, to come to a stage of gopis or Kunti Devi or Vidura, where I offer everything to Krishna, regardless of whether Krishna embraces me or rejects me, Ashleshyava Padaratam, that journey, there is a bridge. And that bridge is this authentic bhakti, the ability to accept who we are with all our frailties, have some sense of irony, you know, self-irony, ability to laugh at ourselves for who we are, idiotic. Like I was telling someone yesterday, I'm a sincere clown. The ability to see who we are, how foolish we are, at the same time, know that I'm sincere and coming forward to Krishna. So this is needed. This authentic bhakti is basically based on accepting who we are and being grateful for what we are getting and gently, with humility, going forward. Sometimes we think, what we do, we whitewash. No, just do hearing and chanting, you will get Krishna Prem. This is actually very, very, very dangerous. If you only say, see, hearing chanting is the foundation. But hearing chanting, what it does, it doesn't directly give Krishna Prem. Hearing chanting first, we need to unzip this. What hearing chanting does is, if we constantly engage in hearing and chanting, it doesn't mean we'll get Krishna Prem. What it means is, Krishna will see our sincerity. Oh, he is very sincere. She is hearing, she is chanting, he is doing this bhakti, very good. And then what does Krishna do? Krishna orchestrates events in our life, like it did in Vidura's life, where we don't get just happiness. Our ego layers are peeled off. And that time we have to make a choice. Otherwise, if you only say, no, hearing chanting karo, ho jayega. That's not fair, because hearing chanting, according to scriptures, hearing chanting doesn't simply water the bhakti lata bij. Hearing chanting is not simply watering your bhakti tree, bhakti plant. Hearing chanting is also watering the weeds, upashakha. When the plant is growing, you're putting water, it grows. But when you're putting the water, there are weeds which throttle the plant. They're also growing. They also get water. So when we're hearing and chanting, if I'm chanting nicely, hearing nicely, then bhakti is growing. But that hearing chanting is also nourishing the weeds, which can throttle my bhakti. That means if I have lot of ego-driven tendencies, if I have lot of biases, then that also gets nourished. So if I'm an egomaniac, I'm hearing, doesn't mean my egomaniac will go away. What will happen if I'm an egomaniac and I'm sincerely hearing? Krishna will arrange situations where my ego will be smashed. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because we generally don't hear. If you see, honestly, we don't hear what actually is being spoken in the Bhagavatam. We have what is called as confirmation bias. We hear what we want to hear. I've experienced this so many times in my preaching. I said something, but somebody understood something else completely different. I'll give an example right now. We can do an example. So I'll say something and then I'll ask you a question. Start. Srila Prabhupada said in one lecture, so all these atheistic scientists are rascals. Just surrender to Krishna. Stop. Now I stopped. I started and I stopped, right? And you heard something from start to stop? So raise your hand. I'll ask a question. If you know the answer, just raise your hand. What did I say in that period? Yes, Mataji, you say. All these scientists are rascals. Did I say that? Wait. Thank you. All these scientists are, what did she say? So I did live demonstration for you. We don't hear what is spoken. I did not say all the scientists are rascals. What did I say? Who will say? Raise your hand. Wait. Yes, bro. All the atheistic scientists are rascals. Did Vraja Bihari Das say that all atheistic scientists are rascals? No, I didn't say that. That also is wrong. What did I say? Yes. So I did not say all atheistic scientists are rascals. The point I'm trying to make is, we come with a certain prejudice. And when we hear, then we hear it the way we want to hear, not what the speaker is saying. So if Prabhupada said, so atheistic scientists are rascal. So I go back and tell my friends, you know what Prabhupada said today? All scientists are rascal. For the person I tell this, that person, now look at his ego. Like for example, when I was growing up, I took arts. So during our time, if you were not good in any subject, science, doctor, engineering, then BSc, then BCom, and then you take arts if you are not good at anything. That was a general belief. But I was a teenager, my father used to give me economics books because my father was economics pandit. So then I got attracted. So I had to do, because economics was available in BA. So when I took economics, so then I wanted to show my friends that I'm not BA, I'm economics students. So I would always tell them I'm an economist, like you're a dentist, or I wanted to make it sound as a professional degree. So then I did my master's in economics, then I did one more degree in economics, then I specialized in international finance, because my sense of identity was, and I did some projects for RBI also, and then I wrote some articles for some journals. So I was convinced that I'm an economist, although economist banne ke liye there is something else you have to do. But anyway, I'm an economist, that identity I had. Now imagine somebody hears Prabhupada's class. What did Prabhupada say? All atheistic scientists are rascals. Now, if I have done physics, like I studied economics, so I thought I'm an economist. Somebody studies physics. Somebody is, say, nuclear physics, MSc. And he starts thinking, I am scientist. I'm scientist. So then when I come and tell him, you know what? Prabhupada said today, all atheistic scientists are rascal. So what this person hears? Oh, Prabhupada called me rascal. Why? He thinks Prabhupada called him rascal. Because he thinks he is scientist. Prabhupada called all atheistic scientists rascal. So this person says Prabhupada called all scientists rascal. And the third person thinks Prabhupada called me rascal. That's how we hear. So simply saying hearing will solve all problems, we should be careful, because the false ego, the layers are very thick. So Krishna orchestrates events for it to be peeled off. All that identities that we have, Krishna will pierce, Krishna will, it's called hollowed out in English. There is a big pot and you take out things from there, from the heart, Krishna will take out all our wrong identities. Because he wants to feel Krishna Prem. So we'll go through humiliation. So if I think I'm a great preacher, all that I think I am, Krishna will smash. So therefore, trusting Krishna, Vidura is showing tremendous trust in Krishna. And then choosing Krishna, choosing to hear about Krishna, making a choice. Like for example, many of us, when we go through these two emotions, especially when we go through the pain that material world will give, and especially when Krishna will smash our false ego, that time the ability to say, Krishna, I'm not feeling happy, but I choose you. How many of you during chanting you have felt, let us be very honest, how many of you have felt bored while chanting at some point of time? So when we are feeling good, it is nice to chant. But when we are bored, we think, I can't chant now. Why Krishna is not giving me happiness? Because we think Krishna is our servant. Krishna has to give me happiness. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is all about making Krishna happy. See, sense gratification is what? Sense gratification, no Bhakti. Emotional Bhakti is what? Emotional gratification. And existential Bhakti is what? Making Krishna happy. So our Bhakti is all about I being happy. And therefore, when chanting gets boring, we are not inspired to chant sincerely because we think I'm not happy and Krishna is not giving me happiness. We don't realize that relationship is two ways. Krishna has given me so much all the time. Even when I didn't thank him, Krishna gave me so much. Now when Krishna is not giving me happiness, can I give him chanting? Can I give him something? Then that is reciprocation, right? We always want Krishna to reciprocate with us. We don't ask, am I reciprocating with Krishna? In class also we hear, what kind of classes we want to hear? How Krishna reciprocates with devotees. Krishna loves his devotees. We like to hear all of this because we feel I am a devotee and I need faith because I am doing so much for Krishna, no? So please give me faith that Krishna will reciprocate with me. Krishna will take care of me. I want to hear that. Krishna loves me. Please give me that faith. But for pure devotees, this is a done deal. Krishna loves us. There is no question about it. Krishna has done so much for us. Are we reciprocating with Krishna? If you see last year, His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj gave a series of initiation lectures, starting from 5 lectures in this temple, then Radha Bihari, then Nasik, Goa, everywhere. And if you see, one theme was consistent in all his lectures, all his initiation lectures. Are we reciprocating with Krishna? Are we giving Krishna? Krishna is already giving. Sadhu means one who cuts. Guru means heavy. He is not here to flatter us. So therefore, from emotional bhakti, we need to rise to existential bhakti, and that the bridge is this, that accepting my weaknesses, my pain, and then showing our sincerity with gratitude and chanting even when I don't feel like. Like for example, next time when you feel bored while chanting, you could try this. Krishna, I'm feeling bored, I'm feeling useless, I'm feeling not at all happy, but I choose to be with you now. I'm not feeling Krishna, but I accept belongingness with you. I want to be with you although I don't feel your presence. I want to show my sincerity. When we make this choice, that's a game changer. When we make this choice, our bhakti will be more effective than a 1 million kirtan mela that we attend. Because we are making a choice. We are choosing Krishna, although we are not feeling Krishna. And that makes our bhakti jump to the existential level. Of course, hearing chanting is most important. See, there are 2 tracks. Please don't misunderstand. Don't go back after this class that hearing chanting is not important. You know, there was this Pune Yatra. The last time we had Pune Yatra was, I think, in 2009. I'm not sure. 2008 or 2009. And the last class of the last Pune Yatra, if you can get it from radhanaswamimedia.com, please do hear that. It was a marathon class by His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, and the whole class was, the theme was, Bhakti is based on 2 tracks. Sadhana and choice. Both have to be there. So when we have good sadhana, good hearing chanting, then we get the strength to make the right choice. But if you only have good sadhana, but if we don't choose Krishna, especially when our false ego is crushed, then that sadhana is useless. Hearing chanting will not help unless we make the choice. And only making right choices will not help if our hearing and chanting is not there. Because at some point of time, there will be no taste. And we will give up making the right choices. So both are needed. And that's how when we practice Krishna consciousness, then our bhakti blossoms. Then we rise from the consolation prizes in Krishna consciousness to the real thing. His Holiness Kadamba Swami Maharaj, who left this world 2 years ago, all of you know, he was such an amazing warrior, preacher, such a surrendered soul. He served so much in so many areas. So when he was serving in Vrindavan, he speaks about this in one podcast with Namras Prabhu. It's a 2.5 hour conversation where he speaks about how he was trying to protect ISKCON property and Gundas attacked him. And there was mafia fighting with him, and once he was in the bathroom, they shot bullets at him. And how he had to be rushed to the hospital, how he had to risk his life. He speaks all those stories. So you can check Namras podcast, Kadamba Swami. So there he mentions how, so after all this, then he was in the hospital, then he had to, and his small belongings were in the brahmacharya, in the ashram there, he was a temple president in Vrindavan. So he came there. So they said, you cannot go there because this mafia, gundas are also there. So what? They said, Maharaj, we'll go in the night at 1:30. And we'll go to your room and collect your important belongings, and then we'll go to Mayapur. So when he came there at 1:30, he says, his room was locked. He was shocked. He can't lock. Who kept this lock? They had to break the lock. And when he went in, he realized none of his things were there. He had come with a bead bag to his room and he saw nothing was there. And then he had to go away with only his bead bag. He said, I realized Krishna had taken away everything from me. He had left me with only the holy names. All my identities were taken away. And this can happen with us also. His Holiness Satsarup Maharaj Goswami's book I was reading, he is speaking about one particular Mayapur GBC gathering. There were some intense discussions going on, management meetings, some very hard decisions were about to be taken, and he was very disturbed. In the morning in the temple hall when he was chanting, he was thinking, if they take this division, then I will not get this position, I will not get that. A lot of mental challenges. He was going through pain as he was chanting. And suddenly at one point of time, he got the realization. Even if they take away everything, but whatever realizations I have got in bhakti, that nobody will take. And this bead bag, nobody will take. And then he felt peaceful. Then he realized how Krishna ultimately wants to give us himself. But to give Krishna, for Krishna to give himself to us, he will take away. Like he took away from Vidura. Vidura was whole life of dedicated service completely relegated to the background, dismissed. So therefore, at our level, we need to know that we have to rise now from emotional bhakti to existential bhakti. And how do we do that? What do we practice? Authenticity, honesty, accepting our human frailties, offering it to Krishna for healing, and with gratitude and sincerity moving forward. Otherwise, many times our Krishna consciousness is like, this Diwali crackers you've seen, firecrackers. They shine, they illuminate, and those during Olympics opening ceremony, they have all these beautiful, what is that called? I don't know. Olympic flame, those fire crackers and those, the lights display, fire display, the light display. It's so beautiful. So many times our bhakti is like that. Wow, we feel thrill. But actually that is emotional bhakti. Just feeling good. This is nice. This kirtan was good. Oh, this sangha was so good. Oh, we had such nice association that day. We had such nice yatra. But existential bhakti is like that quiet flame which keeps burning. You've seen in some traditional temples, you go to Udupi, Jagannath Puri, Srirangam, there is flame burning for thousands of years. It's not extinguished. So Krishna consciousness is like that flame which keeps burning for decades, for centuries. That's how a community flourishes, when devotees focus on coming together, helping each other remember Krishna and seamlessly moving towards that state. See, there is a difference between joy in a relationship. There is a difference between joy of chastity and the thrill of romance. Do you get this? So there is thrill in romance. But how long does that thrill last? But chastity, the joy of that, the deep contentment that comes after years of ups and downs, struggles, tolerance, patience. See, brahmachari, they don't go for marriage ceremonies. But whenever we have 25th wedding anniversary, 50th wedding anniversary of some grahastha couple, brahmacharis go there. Because they say, wow, 50 years they tolerated each other. We also need to tolerate it. I also have to tolerate my other brahmacharis, friends. They are tolerating me. We have to help each other. Because dedication, see, love is not what they show in the movies, Love, there is more to love. There is humility, tolerance, respect. Similarly, in relationship with Krishna, it's not about just feeling good. It is not emotional. It is existential. It is becoming one with Krishna in the sense of our consciousness, in the sense of belonging to Krishna, regardless of how Krishna treats us. I know I've spoken quite a mouthful beyond my level of realization, but I just wanted to make a point that how we need to raise our bar. And the way we embark on this journey is by building this bridge, which is centered on authenticity, where we accept our frailties and who we are, and with gratitude, humility, with a little bit of self-irony, move ahead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I would like to pause now and give some time for discussions, question answers, if there are any. Yes, Prabhu. Mic is coming, yeah.
Haribol, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this class. Initially you mentioned that Vidura, he faced a reversal in the form of insult from Duryodhan and apathy from Dhritarashtra. But he found shelter in association of Uddhav and Maitreya Muni. And he sort of, what you mentioned, that is how, he had to face two kinds of emotions, basically. So, Prabhuji, my question is that in our life also, there are some challenges at maybe various levels it could be in, like physiological level or interpersonal level, where I find that the challenge is so huge that you find it difficult to take shelter of Krishna only.
Yes.
So in that situation, and you understand that this is a challenge which is separate from bhakti, separate from my relationship with Krishna, and this is something that I am facing because of my past karma or whatever. But you also feel that this challenge is such a challenge that it has to be addressed.
Yes.
And you try to address it, but it doesn't get addressed. You don't address it to bhakti, you address it to whatever it is required to address it based on your understanding. But you're not able to address it. And you think that this needs to be addressed at maybe a physical level or physical level primarily. Because there are instances where devotees who have practiced bhakti for decades and have taken very extreme steps in their lives. So how does one approach Krishna when you need help that this challenge, I really want this challenge to be addressed, but I'm not able to address it. So how do you handle that situation?
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just paraphrase what you said. You are saying that we are practicing bhakti, but we have so many challenges which cannot be addressed through bhakti at physiological, psychological level. And that can potentially harm us in such a way that I may not take shelter of Krishna.
I may not be able to take
I may not be able to take shelter of Krishna. I may be willing, but I may be unable to. So what do I do at such times? Have I understood you rightly? Okay. My humble opinion or answer to this is, Srila Prabhupada's very famous phrase, he would always use these 3 words, do the needful. So do the needful means what needs to be done in that situation, we need to do. Like, for example, there is one book called I Am Never Displeased with Any Member. Something like that. That's the title of the book by Satswarup Maharaj. It's a collection of letters that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Satswarup Maharaj and Satswarup Maharaj's letters. It's a purport to his letters, Prabhupada's letters. Volume 2, I think. So there you will find this amazing purport by Satswarup Maharaj, how he is quoting one letter of Prabhupada, where Prabhupada is writing in detail, not about Krishna consciousness. He is writing to, that time Satswarup Maharaj was a grahastha. In his previous ashram, his wife was Jadurani Mataji. So Prabhupada is writing to her about how she should drink milk at night, how she should eat this prasad with some lemon, and what kind of paste she should make, because she was going through some sickness. The whole letter is on health. So you see what I'm saying? Like, do the needful. That is one. Like, for some it may mean taking help of a professional, mental health professional. That needs, just like, we do the needful for the body. So we need to do whatever is needed for the mind. So do the needful is one. Second is, we need to learn to embrace the absurdity of material world. Our problem is, we are always trying to fix everything. We need to, okay, there is one Greek character called Sisyphus. Prabhupada mentions this in Coming Back book, chapter 8, and a lot of BTG articles this is mentioned. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Ayagriv Prabhu, Satswarup Maharaj also mentioned. So this is a very interesting character. Many grahasthas can relate to this character. So Sisyphus was a man who wanted to avoid death. He wanted to conquer death. So he did a lot of things. So the gods got very angry with him and they condemned him to carry a boulder up a hill. And as soon as he would take the boulder up the hill, it would fall off. Then he had to again go down, again take the boulder up the hill, again he would fall, again he would go up. So like that he was condemned forever. So we are like Sisyphus. What has happened to us? We wanted to conquer death. We never talk about death. We speak about death, but we think I will not die. I will be eternal. Actually, we are insignificant. Haridas Thakur says to Mahaprabhu, Kita mari gela, prithvir hani oila, I am an insignificant ant. Who are we? We are nobody, but we think I have got so many grand plans. We are like Sisyphus. So we have been condemned. What? Take the boulder up the hill, do so many things for your family, for your friends, so many things, and then what is the end result? Again back to square one. Again you have to keep doing, and you get frustrated and you can't practice bhakti because you want to perfect everything. So at such times, devotee, we have different choices. Some people commit suicide. Oh, this boulder is too much. I can't live with this. End my life. Some people commit philosophical suicide. They just take shelter of some rituals, some vastu, astrology, homa, do whatever, and they think this is the goal of life. For them, bhakti yoga is, they don't understand the seriousness of Krishna consciousness. They just think, "Ye sab karke kuch to milega solution." And still they will not get, because boulder will keep coming down. And then the third is to embrace, be a happy Sisyphus, to know that this boulder will come down. Enjoy the struggle of taking it up. And know that it's going to come down. Have good friends around. And learn to laugh. That's why I said in the beginning, some self-irony. Laugh at your situation. And move on. I'll tell you a classic example. One Grahastha friend of mine, he said, "Prabhuji, I want to chant. I've made my schedule and I'll do like this. Then I'll read Bhagavatam every day like this. Then I'll chant like this every day. I'm sorted, Prabhuji." And next day he felt very sick and was admitted in the hospital for 2 weeks. Somehow he recovered and he called me, "Prabhuji, now I've recovered after 2 weeks of struggle. Now I'm going to chant, read Bhagavatam, everything will be sorted." He wanted to perfect. He wanted to do everything nicely. And suddenly his wife fell sick and she got admitted in the hospital for 2 weeks. He was running around. Finally she got all right. Then everything was satisfied. Now, Prabhuji, after 1 month, finally I can start my new schedule. And he started, and then his daughter, I think not even a teenager, one boy in her class had put some pornography in her phone, something. So then he got so wild, he went to the school, he fought with the teachers, the principal, then that boy's parents had to come, apologize, all that drama happened. That took 2 weeks of his mental toll. That also got sorted. I said, "Prabhuji, abhi se achhe se bhakti karenge." Then what happened? Then he got some legal notice, some family dispute, property dispute came. Then he had to meet the lawyers. Are these kind of stories resonating with you? You solve one problem, then the next one comes, the next one comes. There is no end to the jhamela of this material world. That boulder, you are taking it up, it's coming down. Taking it up, it's coming down. So you do the needful, and also don't commit philosophical suicide. Know that I have to embrace, be a happy Sisyphus. Know that ye lifelong rahega, jab tak ye body hai. And that's why you see my cousins now, WhatsApp group. I don't check now WhatsApp, I've stopped for a long time, but I remember when I was active, my cousins WhatsApp, there are some 70, 80 cousins, nephews, everyone. And 90% of the time they are joking. They're all grahasthas. I'm the only renunciant there. And they're all cracking jokes on married life. And all grahasthas making fun of grahastha life. Then I realized, by joking about their married life, they are releasing their frustration. You understand? Some self-irony. Many times, we devotees don't have self-irony. We think, nahi. You will not see many devotees speak about the past mistakes they have made in a joking way. We will not laugh at the choices we have made. We want to say that the choices I made 25 years ago of being a monk was the best choice. It was Krishna's ordained. We want to always be, we take ourselves too seriously. Self-irony means don't take yourself seriously, take the process seriously. Our problem is we have taken ourselves so seriously that if somebody doesn't smile at us, we get offended. He has spoken to me, about me, to that person like that, and that person spoke like that, so I will not talk to him. Katti, chalo, baat nahi karu. We are Vaishnavas, but we get so offended. We have such a massive false ego. So we have taken ourselves too seriously. So some self-irony is needed, some ability to laugh at ourselves is needed, and this kind of jhamela which comes, psychological, physiological, we need to laugh at it and then go forward in bhakti, do what we can. Maybe this Prabhuji, I told Prabhuji that maybe you can't read half an hour of Bhagavatam and half an hour of extra japa, at least do 5 minutes, 2 minutes to kar sakte hain. So don't, let us not be in this mood of being a yogi. We are actually bhaktas, but we are trying to be yogis. We want to control our life. We are not able to let go. We are not able to embrace these uncertainties, the material, what is called vicissitudes, the whole material tabernacle which is just overwhelming us. We just have to make peace with it and accept that it's not going to have an overnight change. So that's my humble solution. 2 things. One is, what is the first? Do the needful. And second, embrace the absurd. This is called absurdity. There's an Albert Camus, a French philosopher, he coined this term. Material world is absurd. Because there are, when is absurdity born? When 2 things come together. When a husband and wife come together, child is born, right? So when two realities come together, madness is born. What is those two realities? One is our spiritual aspiration, our goals, our desire for peace, perfection, stability, clarity. That is one reality. What is the other reality? The silent cosmos which doesn't care for us. The universe which has its own law. Universe is not our servant. You see Prabhupada's one lecture I was hearing in the DT room. In Hindi, in English Prabhupada is saying, so Krishna is not your father's servant. Basically Prabhupada is Bengali body. So in India, in Bengal, in India, Mumbai say, Bhagwan तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं है. In English there is no phrase like that. God is not your father's servant. So Prabhupada says, Maya Devi and Krishna, they are not your father's servant, that they will obey what we ask. So they have their own plan. So you are seeing this independent plan of the material energy and Lord and our spiritual aspirations. When they come together, who is born? Absurdity, insanity is born. इसलिए we need this anesthesia, association of devotees who, अरे आपके लाइफ में भी प्रॉब्लम है, अच्छा मेरा भी है, हम भी पिट रहे हैं, आप भी पिट रहे हैं, चलो. Be vulnerable, be authentic, be loving. See, generally what happens when we meet each other in the outside world, corporate world, how are you? Life is cool, great. And we are cheating each other and ourselves, it's self-delusional. Imagine we meet each other and I say, Prabhu, this is how I am getting beaten by material energy. I'm suffering like this. How are you suffering, Prabhu? And then you tell me how you are suffering. So then our relationship becomes more disarming, more natural, right? Then we are able to pray for each other. We are able to share love. So this is crazy material world, Prabhu. So, but we need to make peace with it. Acceptance is very powerful. We generally don't talk about acceptance. We talk about positive thinking. So acceptance is what will help us. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Is that okay, Prabhu? For you? Is it okay, Prabhu? Thank you.
In short, there are two words. One is expect and other is accept.
Yeah, beautiful.
That means you should not expect, but you should accept.
Yes. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Very good.
There is one nice lecture of His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj where he speaks this. Beautiful. So that is a lecture. I don't know the title of the lecture, but yeah, expectation is the seed of misery. So there he speaks about how Krishna has stitched a coat. He says, we all have been given one coat. We have to wear that coat. Jabardasti. You can't say no. So we all have been given one coat. And Maharaj says that is coat of suffering. So that coat is permanently put on our existence when we take birth. And that coat you cannot take out. You cannot say that, hey, तुम्हारा coat अच्छा है, दे दो ना, exchange करते हैं. You cannot exchange that coat. That coat will be yours. You have to live with this. So like that. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, expectation and acceptance. Anybody else? Yes. I'll come back to you. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. As you said that many of the times we are in the emotional bhakti phase, and then there is something that is existential bhakti phase. When everything is going very right in our life, as you said for Sisyphus, when we have to take boulder on the top of the hill, and when we are there on the top of the hill, we feel, oh Krishna, you are so nice, everything is so beautiful, I love you, Krishna. Everything is like, Krishna, your plan is working perfectly. And when that boulders come down in life, and we are like, we are completely off, it's like, why are you doing this, Krishna? First it was above on the hill, and then now again it's down. So my question is, when the boulder is down on the from the hill, how to have that same emotion with Krishna, how to have that same psychology, that Krishna, you are there, to have faith that whatever is going on in the life, you are always there for me. It's not only on the top.
Yeah, for that we need a bridge, and that bridge is acceptance and gratitude. Acceptance, accepting that I am right now suffering, accepting that I am very angry with Krishna, accepting that making peace with your situation. See, acceptance, generally when we think acceptance, we think, oh, acceptance matlab becoming lazy, complacent, not improving. No, acceptance is, I'm not happy about this situation, but I accept it. You'll see, you'll suddenly become peaceful. I'll give a simple experiment. How many of you have been stuck in a traffic jam? All of you. Generally, what we do when we are stuck in a traffic jam? We get angry, frustrated. We give gali to others, we are frustrated. We are not happy, we are miserable because we are in denial. Try this next time when you are stuck in a traffic jam. I accept that I am in a traffic jam. I accept that I am miserable because of this traffic jam. I am not happy about it, but I accept it. I accept this traffic jam as a reality. Don't resist what is. Some things are a reality, don't resist it. I accept this traffic jam. I'm not happy about it. I wish it wasn't there, but it is, and I accept it. And then you see what happens. You'll feel peaceful, and then you'll be able to hear some lecture, memorize some shlokas, or call someone, have some important meeting with full of clarity. You'll have a meaningful discussion with some person because you're in a stage of acceptance. So acceptance is the launching pad. Like one devotee, one of my very dear friends, he's disciple of Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So he was telling me about his interactions with his Gurudev. He went to him and said, Gurudev, I'm very angry with Krishna. I lost all my business. How can Krishna do this with me? He started just pouring his heart out. And Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj heard him nicely and said, congratulations, you are making spiritual progress. He said, what? How am I making progress? I'm angry with Krishna. Then Maharaj said, at least if you are angry with Krishna, that means at least you are accepting Krishna is a person. You are angry with the person, Krishna. So the point is to not deny, not live in denial. Yes, I'm in pain, I accept it, and now then you get, acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance is a prerequisite for action. Then your action becomes more meaningful. Then you can improve. Then you know what to do. So this is a very, very important step. Many of us, we fail in this. We think, no, I have to be pure. I have to be perfect. And when Krishna shows us the mirror, Prabhu, you are not perfect. No. Then we get upset. That's the test. That acceptance is the gift that we give to Krishna. Because Krishna will give us awareness. Awareness is the gift that Krishna gives us. If you are sincerely chanting, you won't get Krishna Prem. You will first get humility as a gift. Krishna will show you, Prabhu, this is how fallen you are. Hare Krishna, see the mirror. And generally when we don't want to see that. Because Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the mirror is getting cleaned. When the mirror starts getting cleansed, we start seeing, this is who I am. And that time we want to throw away the mirror. Or stop looking at the mirror. Or commit suicide. That mirror, what Krishna is showing, that is when we drink that kadwa halahal, that poison. Yes. This is who I am. Thank you, Krishna. Tatte nukampam susamekshamano bunjana evatmakritam vipakam. Ridvagvapurbir vidadam namaste jive tayo mukti pade sadaya bhak. Brahmaji has said this. That Krishna, I accept what has come. Don't refuse what you are getting which is due. Don't fight it. Don't demand. We are like stubborn, tantrum-throwing children. We are always demanding from Krishna. Krishna, make me happy. Many of us don't even realize that Krishna is giving me. Like, child is hungry and the child cries. Mother gives food. The child is cold. The child is shivering. Mother puts blanket. The child doesn't know that the mother is there who is giving the blanket, who is giving food. A little grown-up child knows mother is giving food, mother is giving blanket, but that child doesn't care. She doesn't care to thank. She's just getting, she's enjoying. We are like that grown-up child, little grown-up. We know at least Krishna is giving, but we don't care. We have to now grow up and understand that I also have to reciprocate with Krishna. So I won't get what I want. At that time we accept, yes. And then, see, acceptance is like this, there is have you walked on a slippery surface? Very slippery, kabhi chala hai? How do you walk? Do you run there? You put one step firm on the ground. Then when your feet is firm, then what do? You understand, firm. And then you take the next foot, right? then you take it forward, and then you test it. Firm ho gaya, then you take the back foot. So acceptance is like that. Okay, this is where I am. This is all the faults, this is the dark side, this is the challenges. I accept it and then move forward. Then you will see you are at a more peaceful stage. Situations will not change, but you have to accept it. Does this make sense, what I'm saying?
Bro.
It's very, very important that we pause, spend some time. Yes, Prabhu. We'll end with this last comment, correction.
Thank you, Vraja Bihari Prabhu. So, in a traffic jam, it is easier to accept and, reorient your mental habits there. What if this happens in very close relationships? How do you, have that acceptance, expectation, and because as a devotee, you have certain spiritual aspirations. And then in some close relationships, you may want to help somebody to also join you in that same path that you're moving ahead. But then sometimes, there are certain shallow perspectives that somebody in a close relationship may have. And then your expectation is something else. And how do you accept over there? How do you handle the, sensitive area of that relationship? Thank you.
I don't know. You need a person. You need prasanga majaram pasham kavayo atmano vidu saeva sadhusho kruto mokshadvaram apavratam. We cannot absolve ourselves of the responsibility of being vulnerable in front of another human being. We need someone whom we can share our heart to and take guidance from that particular context. At the same time, this process, what we are doing now is the way we learn. But we need human intervention. We are social beings, right? So, at least in our Gaudiya Parampara, there is no example of anyone who is self-made. Nobody says, everybody is dependent on mercy of other Vaishnavas. Anybody who is successful. So we need guidance of the spiritual master, Vaishnavas who will not judge us. We need a shoulder to lean on, cry. And if there is no one, because there are situations when no one can help us, then we have Krishna. We write journals to Krishna, we offer prayers to Krishna. But the principle of being vulnerable, the principle of opening up, the principle of accepting is important. See, our problem is, we have lived a life of complete disconnect from Krishna. And now when we come to Krishna consciousness, we want highest connection with Krishna. Like we want to be pure devotee. We were animalistic life, okay? From animalistic life, we want to jump to pure devotee. We miss the human part. Animal से human बनना है पहले, human से devotee बनना है. So part of being human is being authentic, being vulnerable. In the beginning I was speaking about removing that armor, being vulnerable. From hypocrisy, we want high integrity. Arey, nahi, hypocrisy, integrity, there's a long journey. In between there is something called as honesty. Integrity means to do what you say. Honesty means to say what you do. At least be honest of what we have done. Or we are very cruel, insensitive, and then we want to reach a stage of compassionate avatar. We think we are very compassionate. It won't happen. We have to first learn forgiveness. Basic small things. Highly selfish life, then we come to Hare Krishna, we want to be pure selfless. From selfish to selfless, beach mein there is self-care. Take care of yourself. Approach someone, take guidance, take professional help. And we are always judging others, condemning others. And now we come to Hare Krishna, we want to unconditionally love other devotees. It will not happen. So from judging others to unconditional love, in between there is something called as understanding others, being sensitive to others, respecting others, which is all part of being human. And we operate binary, 0, 1. Either you are a rascal or you are a pure devotee. nahi yaar, I'm a sincere devotee who is miserable in material life but also happy because I'm with devotees. The ability to accept that what you're doing right now is what exactly you need to sit with someone and share your heart and take it forward. I've spoken principles here, the principles of which Sisyphus is teaching us, or the absurdity of material world. These are all principles. How you apply that principle, you need to discuss off the Vyasas. See, Vyasasana is for connecting us to an aspirational reality. And off the Vyasasana, we adjust the aspiration to the adjusted reality. Like on the Vyasasana, I know one sannyasi who only speaks pure Krishna Katha on the Vyasasana. And he is like, he's descended from Shloka Loka. He can quote 100 shlokas in one class. Beautiful shlokas he will chant. Pure Krishna Katha. He sits straight. But every day, he never speaks this in the class. But every day, 2 hours he does yoga. He is very healthy. He doesn't have the mandate to speak on yoga in the Bhagavatam class. Bhagavatam class is meant for surrendering to Krishna. But of the Vyasasana, he is doing that. The point I'm saying is there is an aspirational reality, there's principles which we have spoken about. And how to apply this principle in this particular case study, you have to discuss of the Vyasas. Like I may say, just surrender to Krishna, which is true. Material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. All that is principle. But to apply this, now you can't go home and say that, I reject my family, I reject everything because this is all dukkha. No. How to apply this principle, how to adjust it in our day-to-day life, we need live devotee association, interaction. And then we can move forward.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. I sincerely thank all of you for coming for this class. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.